this road you're on of love, it's got a lot of holes, a lot of bumps. When's the last time you spent a whole day together? You both really need something here, and nobody's giving it. How's that supposed to work?
Wow, this is a clip from I'm Going to Break Your Heart, a documentary that explores the marriage of multiple Juno Award winners Chantal Kreviazuk and Raine Maida.
The film also chronicles their first collaboration together as Moon vs. Sun, and they're joining us here this morning to talk. Thank you both for coming in. And interesting, while that clip was running, I saw, Chantal, you reached over and you were touching Raine. Is it still raw, like going through that whole process for you guys? Or?
Well, it's a neat thing because it's always changing now. Like, it's different to me now sitting with you.
Sure.
You know, before we were on camera, when we were just talking, it's so nice that to me, the documentary evokes conversations with other couples, and people like to talk about, well, I've been with my partner for this long, and I just think that, you know, we're all so busy and on our path, and we don't really kind of get into that awesomeness of our relationships and the challenges of them. And so I just love the conversation that it evokes now, and it's just taken on a different form, and I'm proud of that.
You should be. Raine, what's it like for you? I mean, seeing yourself on the camera there, you guys are getting really real, really honest with each other, and it's there for all of us to see.
Yeah, I mean, the impetus for the documentary was to film us and kind of capture the process of making our first album together. Like we went to this little French island called Saint Pierre and Miquelon, and kind of holed up in a hotel room. It was cold, it was winter, so it was really about getting the writing done. But you can't really show the process of us making music together without showing the process of our relationship, because they're so intertwined.
Right.
And so, I mean, it does get raw, but I mean, so does the songwriting element, and that's life. So there you go.
Yeah.
The one thing that, sorry to interrupt you, the one thing that comes to mind is that, you know, when you see relationships on social media and Instagram, things like that, they are so curated and they all look so
glossy.
perfect. And so glossy, exactly.
I tried really hard to make my eyes blur in the film. They didn't have a filter that would go for 90 minutes.
Baby, you don't need to. Your eyes are perfect the way they are in reality.
You're right. It doesn't have any of that filter on it. It is pretty, you know, the way we shot it was very kind of guerrilla style, in the sense of it was just two cameras, kind of with us. Not a typical doc in the sense. It didn't follow us for a year. It was really like the specific amount of time we went to the island, a little bit of our time in LA, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think, and hopefully this will kind of happen, do you think it will spur people to maybe go get a coach, get some help, to dig right in to get down to the root of issues?
Well, I mean, I can remember the feeling I had when our coach, who, by the way, we've had for a decade, and we're still not, you know, perfect or fixed or healed.
Well, I got it
it's
down.
A process.
I'm done.
But even for me, when I remember he keeps just throwing them at us, you know. When he said, you know, when was the last time you spent a day together? It's humbling, because you realize that the most important thing in your life is your relationship, and yet
we don't even have real jobs, and we find it hard to, like, get it together.
We're still busy and have demanding careers. Sure. It's not 9 to 5, but it is demanding, and we're busy. I mean, and
you guys have 3 kids.
Yeah.
We were talking about this off camera before. Life gets so busy, and it's so easy to get disconnected from one another. But Raine, you mentioned this. When mom and dad aren't together, then nothing's working.
Yeah, that's my line.
That's your line?
If we're good, everything's good. Is kind of, you know, the idea of it. But John talks about how, you know, we think that the kids are everything. And that's great, but the reality is that mom and dad are number one in everything, including jobs and kids and in-laws and financial problems or whatever, or challenges or ambitions. That's a distant third. He doesn't even give it a second. He says that number one and kind of everything is this, because
well, even the music, right? The reason to make this film was we've been trying to write this record for 6 or 7 years, probably, and it just wasn't happening. Like we wrote one song years ago, and we're like, this is great. We'll just continue this, and in a few months we'll have a record, and it just never worked. So finally, we hired like a camera crew, booked flights, booked a hotel, and it was like, now we have responsibilities of other people on the line, and we booked their time.
We can't balk, you know.
So We got on the flight and we did.
Because that always seems to be the thing. I think we default. Oh, well, we're fine. We don't need. We assume. You know, we're married. We love each other. But like, it's a doing thing. Just like music is a doing thing. Just because I think I'm musical, I hear music in my mind.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I've manifested it, right? And love needs to be manifest too. So I think it's a neat metaphor. And I don't even know if that was the purpose. Like, the purpose was to make an album together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what we took away from it at the end, it's like you see collaboration on so many different levels within this documentary.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're doing, right?
How do you guys carve out time now? For you two, for Raine and Chantal.
Well,
Come to Calgary.
yeah, in the freezing
Like
cold.
we're alone.
I have to say in our relationship, you know, I think I'm like really fast paced and I'm a driver, you know, and what I love is Raine will say, you know, we're going on a date tonight, or, you know, and I get really, like, I get excited. I get, you know, kind of butterflies. Like, it's nice. And I say, where are we going? And he says, I'm not telling. And then he'll, you know, take me for dinner, and gosh, it makes me like well up. It's just the sweetest thing after everything we've been through. And it's so nice. Like, Raine and I sit down and have dinner together and have 2 hours together. I feel like we went on vacation.
Yes.
Because it's so busy with the kids and all. And so yeah, it's awesome when points when he does that. It's nice.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Well, now you have this incredible musical collaboration together, and you're
Yeah.
actually performing tonight in Calgary at the National Music Centre tonight from 7 until 11. It is sold out, so thank you so much for being here and for coming to the city tonight to perform, and good luck with all of this new collaboration.
Yeah, I hope
you.
that people will, you know, stay tuned, because we'll be distributing the film on platforms for them to watch and see themselves in
course.
it. And then we'll be putting an album out in the spring, right? And touring as Moon versus Sun. And it'll be for the duration.
There you go. Well, come back and see us when you're back in town.
Thanks for having us.
All right.